Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today I'm going to show you my base product declutter. What you can see here in those two pink boxes are all of my base products. So in here we do have my foundations and concealers, and then here are my primer, my setting sprays and all my powders. So we will go through everything that you can see in here. And I would say, because it could be a longer video, let's just jump straight into it. So I hope that everything is in frame okay for you. So I do have actually 11 primer. So I do have those two here from e.l.f. and this one here is the Poreless Putty Primer. And I have used quite a lot of it already. I think I've got this one last December, so not in 2020 but in 2019, and I've used it a lot after I first got it for months and months, and then I just kind of, I don't know, fell out of love with using pore filling primers, but I think this is still the best one that I have for that purpose. So I'm just going to keep one pore filling primer, and I'm going to keep this one here because I really do like it and I do enjoy it. It's a beautiful formula and it works really nice. I just don't use it that often nowadays, but if I want to use it, I'm going to use this one here. So this one here is a keep for me. Then I would say let's continue with pore filling primer, because I have this one here from Catrice. It's called the Prime and Fine Poreless Blur Primer, and this one here has a very strong silicone feel and I don't like it as much because I feel like when I apply foundation on top of it, it kind of slips away or it slips around because it's so silicone-y. So this is not my favorite one and I'm going to declutter this one. So as mentioned before in other declutters that I have already uploaded to my channel, I really only want to keep the products that I truly love and enjoy and that I really want to use. So I'm not going to keep anything anymore that I just don't like or that I have to force myself to use, because that's just not my life and I just don't want to do that anymore. So a little thing that I want to add here is that I do have oily to combination skin, and also my face does have a lot of redness. So I do have enlarged pores, texture, redness, so that are kind of my skin concerns a bit that I try to counteract with primers and foundations. So just that you know where we are starting here. So I do have a category for color correcting primers that are kind of like green tinted that are supposed to counteract with redness. So I do have 3 of them. They're actually in the wrong order here. So those 3 are the color correcting primers. This one here is from Catrice. It's called No More Red Smoothing with Hemp Oil. And it has a bit of a darker green color. I'm very fair, so sometimes primers like this can be a bit too dark for me. This one here is from Makeup Revolution. It's called the Color Correct and Fix Primer. It's a bit lighter in tone. And then I do have this one here from Essence. It's called the You Better Work Gym Proof Primer. And this one here is actually in my project pan at the moment. And I think it has the lightest and most blue toned color to it. So this one here from Essence is supposed to have SPF in it, and it actually does look very brightening on the skin. It's not very color correcting, but it is brightening. And then this one here from Makeup Revolution, I would say is the strongest when it comes to color correction. And then this one here from Catrice is doing the least for me in terms of color correction, and it has the darkest color. And it's actually too dark for me, so I'm going to declutter the one from Catrice, and I really do enjoy the one from Makeup Revolution. I think this one is my favorite out of the 3 of them, and this one here is just okay. It's a bit brightening, so I do quite enjoy it and I really want to use it up in my project pan. So these 2 here are going to stay, and this one here from Catrice I'm going to declutter. Then let's see what we do have left here. So this one here is the Luminous Putty Primer, so it's an illuminating one from e.l.f. When you touch it, it kind of feels like the Poreless Putty Primer. It just has a different color to it or a different finish, because it has this strong yellow golden, I don't know, shimmer effect to it. Don't know if you can see it on camera actually. It looks quite nice on camera now, but when I apply it in real life, it's just too golden for me. I'm very fair and I have a cool undertone, so everything that has the slightest yellow tint to it is just not working on my skin. And I don't know, I feel like it does actually look quite nice, but it's not very glowy or not very luminous. So I think if you want a luminous primer, you can find something that is way more illuminating than this one here. So for me, the color is just not right for me, so I'm going to declutter this one. Then the next is again from Catrice. It's called the Tensational 10-in-1 Dream Primer. So it has 10 claims here on the bottle what it all does. It's priming, hydrating, anti-wrinkle, natural glow, anti-pollution, anti-oxidation, pore minimizing, evens out skin tone, blurs imperfections, and it has SPF 15. So it actually has a bit of a tint to it. And that's my main issue with this primer, because so it evens out the skin tone a bit, but it is in this quite dark orangey color, and this color just doesn't look good on me. So it's just too dark and too orange on me. But I think for someone with a bit more of a lighter skin tone, so light to medium, maybe would really enjoy this one. I don't know, but for me it's not working. So I'm going to declutter this one here. Okay, then these are the 4 remaining ones, and if you have seen my video about my new Essence products, you may already know that I really enjoy this primer. It's kind of a, I don't know, it really feels like a moisturizer, and it's really nice for prepping the skin for applying makeup. It's white when you squeeze it out of the tube, so it comes out white, and it has a really nice cream-like texture, and it really feels very soothing and very moisturizing. So I really do like this primer. And it doesn't have a scent. It's from the new Skin Love and Sensitives line from Essence, and it's really nice on the skin, and I'm going to keep this one. Then this one here is from Terra Naturi. It's an organic makeup line. You will see some more products from them in my collection. I really like them. I think it's a German brand. I don't know if you can get it somewhere outside of Austria or Germany. I think that the formula is quite nice. It's actually, it says that it's anti-shine pore minimizing, but I don't know, when you squeeze it out, it looks very illuminating. So my skin looks very shiny and dewy when I apply it, which is beautiful, but it does peel a bit on me. So when I want to go over it with foundation or anything, it just starts peeling, and as much as I wanted to like it, it's just not working for me, so I'm going to declutter this one. So if you've seen my makeup haul video, I've already talked about the new products from e.l.f. that I picked up. This one is the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. It's almost like the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. When you squeeze it out, it has this gel-like texture, and it's in this beautiful mint color, and it really does feel cooling when you apply it to the face. So I think this one could be a true favorite in the summertime. I do like the texture of it. It doesn't peel on me. That was my main problem with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. And I also feel like this one is a tad bit more moisturizing, so it feels a bit better on the skin. And I do really enjoy this one, so I'm going to keep this one. Okay, now let's talk about this one here last, because I wanted to film a video called, I don't know, the 5 worst products I've tried in 2020, but I never came around filming it. And this one here, this product here would have been the number 1, because it's called the Super Dewy Super Balm Multi-Purpose Balm. And it says that you can use it as a primer, as a highlighter, I don't know, all over your face, all over your body, on your lips, so you can do whatever you want with it. But what this actually is, or at least it feels like to me, it's like a ginormous tube of clear lip gloss in a big tube, so that you would think that you can apply it on your face, but you can't really do that. So I don't know what you're actually supposed to do with it, because for me, when you squeeze it out, you have to squeeze very hard. It's this thick, goopy thing that comes out. And you can already tell that it looks almost like honey. And that's also what it feels like. So when you touch it, it's sticky. And I don't know, have you ever applied lip gloss in this amount onto your skin? Because it feels exactly like it. So it feels like applying lip gloss to your face, your body, wherever you want to apply it. So I did use it on my lips a few times, but it's not the most moisturizing one. So it's not really a product that I want to apply to my lips. So it didn't even work out as that. And I really don't have a purpose for something like that. So I'm going to declutter this one here. So these are all my foundations that you can see here, and I think I'm going to organize them a bit in like categories like tinted moisturizers and full coverage foundations, and then we can go through all of them. First of all, I'm just going to show you this one here. This is a backup from my Clinique foundation. It's called the Even Better Foundation in the shade CN28 Ivory, and I just wanted to show it to you. It's not open yet, and I'm not going to open it up until I have used up some other foundations first. So this one is just staying in my backup box. I just wanted to let you know that I have this one. Okay, so these are all my tinted moisturizer kind of foundations, and 2 glowy foundations or 3 glowy foundations, then tinted moisturizers, BB creams, something like that. And overall, I can already tell you that none of them has worked out for me. As mentioned before, I do have oily skin, and I have kind of a bit of a, I don't know, very sensitive skin, because actually not a lot of foundations work on my skin. So the thing is that I don't want the full coverage look all the time, but tinted moisturizer just don't sit well on my skin because of my oily skin. I feel like they all kind of slip away and slip around and kind of not set, and no matter how much powder I use, they just don't want to stay put, or then they cake up and they look dry and cakey, and they emphasize my wrinkles and my texture and everything. So I've had really bad experiences with almost all of them. So this one here from NYX has actually been the worst one, or maybe it was this one here from Revolution Pro. So both of them looked horrible on me. This actually emphasized all the texture on my skin, all the wrinkles, it settled in lines, and it looked horrible after a few hours of wearing it. So this one has a very fair tone to it, which is nice because not all foundations come in a color that is light enough for me, but it's just not working. I know a lot of people that love this one here, so don't think that it's a bad product because I don't like it. It's just not working for my skin, and for my skin, really not a lot of foundations are working good for it. So that's not, I don't know, it has nothing to do with this foundation, I think. So just because I don't like it, you could like it. It's very lightweight, which I do like, but yes, it's just not working on me, so I'm going to declutter this one. Then this one here from Revolution Pro, I pretty much have the same experience with it. It's called the CC Perfecting Foundation. I think it's supposed to be a dupe for the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, and it's basically the same thing as with the one from NYX. It just doesn't look good on me. It looks dry and it settles into lines, and I don't know, it emphasizes my texture, and I don't know, it's just not working for me, so I'm also going to declutter this one. Then those two are from German brands, I think. This one here is called Benecos. It's a organic makeup line, and this one here is from Balia, which is kind of the house brand from our local drugstore. And it's kind of a tinted moisturizer, and this one is a BB cream, and both of them are doing, I don't know, nothing for me. So they have so little pigment to them that it's basically, I don't know, there's no point in using them because they really don't show up. So it's better for me to put on moisturizer and then just spot conceal with a concealer and even out my skin tone with a concealer than to apply one of those. So I'm going to declutter both of them. Then these three here are Dewy Glowy foundations, and I think all of them actually look good on me when I apply them, but they all kind of slip around my face and they don't set and they don't stay put and they don't look good when they wear off. So that's another thing that I struggle with foundations, is how they are wearing off, because those, I don't know, they just don't look good on me after about 2 hours of wearing them. So there's kind of no point for me to put them on. I try to use this one here a lot when I film, but even when I just play with makeup and apply it for just in the evening and I don't know, just for like, you know, playing with it, it still didn't look good after 1 hour, and I kind of didn't want to use it even for that purpose again. So it's the same with all three of them. So this one here is again from Terra Natura, that German organic makeup line, and then this one here is from Makeup Revolution. It's called the Super Dewy Skin Tint, and I know so many people that do love those two products here, so it's really just me, not them. It's just they're not working on my oily skin. Maybe they work on other people with oily skin. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just know that for me they don't work. So I'm going to declutter all three of them. I've tried so many different foundations in the last year to kind of find the perfect ones for me. And what I really found out is that concealers are just way better for me as foundation than foundation itself. So I found two concealers that I truly love and that are perfect for my skin. I'm going to show them to you later, but foundations are just not where it's it for me. But now I'm going to show you my full coverage foundations. So those two here are from The Ordinary. They are the coverage foundation, and I feel like they have gotten really old because they kind of separated and they don't want to mix into it. I don't know, they don't want to mix well. So I feel like they're just old and I just have to get rid of them. They're not my favorites either, so I use them mainly for filming. So when I filmed my eye makeup tutorials, I had to apply foundation, and so I just worked through some of my foundations that are a bit more full coverage with filming. But I don't do eye makeup tutorials anymore. I only do overhead filming, so I don't need them. I don't need to keep them for that. And I don't enjoy the formula, so they're old, so I'm just going to get rid of them. Then this one here from Makeup Revolution. This one here is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I have it in the shade F3, and if you ever wanted to know what a good shade match for me is, it's this one here from Makeup Revolution. F3 is exactly my color, and it's, I think, the best shade match that I do own. It's light enough, it has a cool or a pinky undertone, and it really does look good on me. This one here is one of my kind of, I don't know, it's a foundation that I like but I don't love, but it's working on me. So when I do want to apply some makeup in the evening for makeup playtime or just for a few hours for just being at home, this is the foundation I'm going to use. So I really do like this one. The color is perfect and I'm going to keep this one. This one here is from Catrice. It's the HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, and I really wanted to like this one. I have it in the shade 002 and it's called Porcelain Beige. It's a bit too yellow for me, but it does work. So this is the color. The color actually works pretty good on me, but the formula doesn't. So it's very cakey. It's very mattifying and it's full coverage, and I don't know, it doesn't look good on me. I don't like it on me. It cakes up so much and it looks horrible around my nose, and I don't know. I tried it out a few times and I just can't make it work, so I'm going to declutter this one. I don't have it for that long, so it's kind of sad, but the bottle is almost full, so I think I can give it to someone else who would maybe enjoy it. Then this one here is from Terra Natura again. It's the Silk Matte Foundation. It's a mattifying, long-lasting foundation in the shade 01 Natural Beige. And this one is a good color match for me, not the best, but it's working. And I feel like it's not that pigmented, so it's not full coverage, but if I pair it with the concealer, it looks pretty nice on me, so I'm going to keep this one. Next, I do have this one here from Maybelline. It's the Superstay 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation, and I don't know about this one. So I used up almost, I don't know, more than half of it already, but I used it mainly for filming and it was good for that. But the color actually doesn't match me that good. It's a bit too peachy, so it looks kind of orangey on me, and that's not a good look for me. So I tried to use it the other day and I don't know, I couldn't make it work. The color is so strange looking on me. It's kind of a Cheeto, color. So I look very orangey when I apply it. And then I also tried to sheer it out because I don't like full coverage anymore. And I don't know, it just doesn't work with this foundation. So I feel like if the color matches you good, it's a great drugstore full coverage foundation. But because the color is a bit off looking on me, it just doesn't work anymore. So I'm going to declutter it, and I feel like I have used so much of it, so I feel like I can let go of it now. Then last is my Dermacol makeup cover, and this one here I have in the shade 7, I think. I can't find it on here, but the shade match is pretty good for me. It's maybe a tiny bit dark, but usually I don't wear this makeup on its own. I paired like to just add some coverage to another foundation, or I just spot conceal with it. The coverage is so crazy. As someone who worked in a theater as a makeup artist like me, it's awesome. I mean, look at that pigment. You can really cover up everything with it. It's so crazy how good the coverage is on this. So I feel like it's really good to have this one on hand. If I ever need full coverage, I can always just add a drop of this one and I do have full coverage. So this is great to have, and I feel like if I have this one, I don't need any other full coverage foundation ever again, because I can just add a drop of it and everything is full coverage after that. So this one is a good thing to have on hand. I think it costs only $10 on Amazon, so it's pretty easy to get. And yes, this one here is really nice and I'm going to keep it. So these are all my concealers, and as you can see I have a lot of them and I feel like it's too much for me, so I really wanna use up some this year. So the first one that is hopefully going to be used up is this one here from Maybelline. It's my Fit Me concealer, and this is in my current project pan, so I hope that I can finish it very soon. So this one I'm going to keep because I really want to use it up and I hope that it's going soon. So this one is it's called Hypoallergenic, and it's the soft cream concealer. And when I first saw it, I thought that it would be a dupe for the Becca Under Eye Concealer. So both of them are very creamy and a bit more thick, but this one here creases a lot when I apply it to my under eye. So I feel like it's not the best for under eye concealing, but maybe it's good for spot concealing. I haven't tried that, so I think I want to keep it for now and just see what I can do with it. It's a bit more full coverage than the one from Becca, but the Becca one is lighter and a bit more on the pinky side, which is better for me, so it works better on my skin. And I do love the Becca Under Eye Concealer. I don't feel like I have to purchase like a backup now that Becca is closing, because I have this pot for such a long time. I don't even have a pan in it, so I think it will last me for a lot longer. And to be honest, I don't reach for it that much that I would say that I need it in my collection. This one here, I just want to try it out a bit more and then see if it's working for me or not. So I'm going to keep both of them. Okay, let's continue with those two here from Catrice. These are my One Drop Coverage Weightless Concealer. They're both in the shade 010 Light Beige, and this is kind of my favorite foundation at the moment. It's a little dropper that I don't like, to be honest. It's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit messy to get the product out of here, but the formula is amazing. It's so much better than the foundation. I don't know what the point is. Why does the concealer work so much better for me than the foundation from them? I don't know what it is, but this one is so beautiful as a foundation for me. So I have one that I'm using at the moment and one as a backup, because it's a bit of a smaller bottle, so I run out a bit more frequently. So I just try to always have a backup of it in my collection. So those two are going to stay. Then I do have this concealer from e.l.f. It's the 16-hour Camo Concealer, and this one looks horrible on me. It's so cakey and so thick and heavy looking, and I don't know, I feel like you have to blend it out immediately, because if you don't do it, it sets and you can't blend it anymore. So I don't know, I really do like concealers that I also can use on my face for spot concealing or something like it, and I feel like it doesn't work with this one because it sets so fast and it's just so cakey looking on me. So I'm not a fan of this one. The formula is just not for me. I know a lot of people who like this one, and I'm just not the type for, I don't know, it's just not my type of concealer. It's just too heavy for me and too much full coverage, and I just don't like, and I don't need something like it. So I'm going to declutter this one. Then I do also have this concealer here from e.l.f. It's, what is it called? Like, it's the under eye concealer and highlighter. So this side here is a highlighter, this one here is a concealer, and the concealer almost has no coverage to it, and it's also a bit dark for me, and it's very sheer and a bit more on the peachy side, which tends to look a bit too orangey on me very fast. And because it, I don't know, when you blend it out, it shears out so much that it's almost as if you haven't applied anything. So I feel like as a concealer, there's no point in keeping it because it kind of doesn't make a difference. And when I apply it to my face, it looks, I don't know, it doesn't look good. It looks very patchy on me. And the highlighter also doesn't really look good. I feel like whenever I apply it, you can really see some specks of white sparkle or glitter, but then it's not really brightening or doing anything because, again, when you blend it out, it shears out so much that you almost can't see it. So I don't know, this product is just not working for me, so I'm going to declutter this one. So let's kind of organize a bit. So I do have some concealers here from Makeup Revolution. I have two from Essence. I have this one here from Catrice, one from NYX, and two from Terra Naturi. So let's start with those two here. So I have one like in this tube here with like a normal little sponge tip applicator, and then I do have this concealer here in a stick version, and this one here is actually quite nice for spot concealing, so I'm going to keep this one here. This one here doesn't have a lot of pigmentation, so I feel like, again, for a concealer there's no point in keeping it for me if it doesn't do anything in kind of, I don't know, covering anything up. So if a concealer is too sheer or doesn't have enough coverage, I feel like there's no point in using it. So I'm going to declutter this one here. This one here is the newest one that I have in my collection. It's again from the Skin Love and Sensitive line from Essence, and this is so beautiful for me. This is working so well as a foundation for me that I use it all the time, and I don't want to use anything else at the moment. It has a beautiful medium coverage, it's a beautiful formula, it works so nicely on the skin, it looks very smooth and kind of pore blurring, I don't know. It really plays well with my skin texture and everything, so I really do enjoy this one and I'm going to keep this one. Then the other one from Essence is actually a color corrector. It's the under eye brightening concealer, and you will see that this one is just too dark for me. So the color, it's too peachy again and too orangey, and because it's also too dark, I don't know, it just doesn't look good on me. So I don't like this one, and I don't feel like it does do a lot for an under eye brightening concealer. I feel like it should have a bit more coverage to it, so I'm going to declutter this one. Then what to do with those? So the one from Catrice, the liquid camouflage high coverage concealer in the shade 01 Fair Ivory. I do really like this one. This has a beautiful color for me. It's very brightening on me, which is rare to find. So, and it also has a bit of a pink undertone, so I really do like this one, and I'm going to keep this one here. It's a beautiful concealer for me. Then the one from NYX, it's the Born to Glow concealer. I've heard so many people rave about this concealer. I don't know what shade I have. Oh, it's here. It's Alabaster. And it's also a very brightening one. What I don't like is the sponge tip applicator. I feel like when I squeeze something out, there's always coming too much product out of it or not enough. And it kind of feels a bit, I don't know. I just don't like when the product sits in there all the time and just waits to be squeezed out. So I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of the packaging, but the formula is very nice, so I think I will continue using it, and I feel like there's not a lot left in it, so I feel like I could use it up this year. That would be a great thing to achieve. Then those smaller ones here are the Makeup Revolution Concealer and Define Concealer. I have one in the shade C3 and then one in CO White. So I love using this one here if I ever want to do something like a cut crease. I love using a white concealer for it, and I don't have that much left for it, I think. I can also use it as an eyeshadow base, so I feel like I have some usage for it, so I'm going to keep this one. And the same goes for this one. I think this is brand new. I went through a lot of them. I think 2 years ago. It was my favorite concealer and I used them all the time. And I also use them for priming my lids for eyeshadow. This is a bit on the darker side for me, but this color works pretty good for me for spot concealing or for using it as an eyeshadow base. So I do really like this formula and I'm going to keep this one here as well. This one here, I don't like the formula of this one as much as of the other one. This one is the Concealer and Hydrate Concealer. I feel like they are so similar in formula. So this one here is not that much more hydrating. This one is in the shade C2, which is better for me. It's a bit lighter than C3. So this is actually working better for me. And I don't know, it's a bit more of a bigger tube, but I don't know what to do with this one. I mean, the formula is not bad, it's just very similar for that it should be a bit more hydrating. So I don't know what they really did with that, but I do think that I want to keep it and I want to use it up, but I don't know if I can do it because the bottle is so big. But maybe if I start using it as an eyeshadow primer, I could get more usage out of it. So I think I'm going to hold on it because the formula is okay. I do like it. It's nothing bad, nothing, I don't know, nothing spectacular, but also nothing bad. So I'm going to keep it and try to use it up. Here you can see all my powders. I do have 12 of them. So let's see what we can do here. I think I'm going to start with the more reflecting packaging because it's not good for the camera settings. So this one here is from Charlotte Tilbury. It's my Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade 1 Fair. And I can show how I cannot open it up for you because this one here is in my project pan and I did a lot of progress on it. So you will have to wait for my next update to see the inside of it, but I'm about finishing it up, so this will be gone very soon. It's a very good powder. I feel like it's so, I don't know, it smoothes out. I don't know, I feel like it's so pore blurring. It's the most pore blurring powder that I do own, and I haven't used a powder like it in a long time. And I kind of was blown away when I started working on it in my project pan. Because, I don't know, I feel like I forgot how pore blurring it is. And it's almost at a point where it's too much for me because I feel like it looks so unnatural on my skin. I don't know. It kind of feels weird not to see any texture, any pores anymore. It's kind of a miracle powder and I feel like it really deserves the hype. And I do have a lot of other good powders in my collection, so I'm not going to repurchase it. But I feel like it's really a good powder if you want something like that. I feel like, I mean, it is an investment, but it's kind of a good investment. I feel like you really get something for your money there. So I'm going to keep it and use it up. Then next we have my Hourglass powder here. This is in the shade Ethereal Light, so it's the lightest shade. It's almost white. And that's a thing why I don't want to keep it anymore, because I'm very fair. So I feel like if someone would be able to use a powder like this, it would be me. But it actually really adds something white to my face and it doesn't do it in an even way. So I feel like it looks a bit patchy sometimes, or just not, I don't know, just uneven. So I don't know, and I also feel like it looks a bit heavy on me and a bit cakey, so I can really see this powder when I apply it, and I don't like the look of it anymore. I have used so much of it. I have used up all of the, like, it has a domed shape and I don't have a dome anymore, so it's flat here. So I've used quite a lot of it, but I just never want to reach for it anymore. I really try to see what it is with this powder for me, but I just figured out that it's just not working for me anymore. I don't enjoy it and I don't like the whiteness that it adds to my face. So I'm going to declutter this one actually. Then this one here from Maybelline, it's the Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade 05 Fair. And I don't know, I feel like it's just a bit too heavy on me and it looks a bit cakey and very dry when I apply it. So I don't know, again, it's just not my favorite, and it makes me look a bit wrinkly and a bit older. So maybe this powder is better for very young people, I don't know. For me it's just not working anymore, so I'm going to declutter this one. Then I do have these two here from Terra Naturi. This one here is their compact powder in the shade 01 Ivory. So I'm going to keep this one, and it's kind of one of my favorite powders at the moment. Then this one here is actually more like an illuminating powder or a highlighting powder. So I bought this one because I wanted to kind of repress some blushes and kind of mix this powder into them to lighten them up and give them a bit more of a glow. So we will be doing that hopefully soon on my channel. Don't know when I can do it, but I really want to repress and kind of Franken press my own blushes. So we will do it with this powder here. So this is a keeper. Then this one here is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, and I think this one here is a lovely formula. I really enjoyed it when I had it, but I just feel like it's so old by now, and I just wanted to use it the other day and I feel like it's dried up. I don't know. It doesn't feel like smooth and silky like it was in the beginning, and it looks a bit, I don't know, it looks very dry and cakey now on my skin, and I remember it to being way more smoothing and I don't know, also like pore blurring. So I feel like this is also a great dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury powder, but this one is just too old now and I think it just went off, so I'm going to declutter this one. Then I do have these three powders here from Essence, and I'm going to keep those two here. This one is the newest one. It's also from the Skin Love and Sensitive line. It's the mineral powder and it's in translucent, and this one here is so beautiful. It's also an amazing dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury one. They feel so similar to each other and I do really enjoy it. I have used it almost every day since I gotten it and I love it. So I'm going to keep this one. Also, I do love the mint packaging on it. This one here is also a very nice banana powder. So it's a brightening powder for the under eye area. And it's very light, which is great for me. But because usually banana powders can be a bit too dark for me. So for example, this one here is the Essence one. And this one here is from Too Faced. It's called Banana Cream. And this one here is looking way darker on me. So this one here is the one from Essence and this one here is the one from Too Faced, and the Too Faced one is actually too yellow and too dark for me, and the one from Essence is perfect. It's bright enough and it just has a vanilla tint to it, so this one is way better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to depot this pan here and then I'm going to repress the Essence powder into this pan here. So I'm going to keep it because the packaging is just so gorgeous. It's perfect for banana powder and I don't want to get rid of the packaging, and so I'm going to just depot this one here and then repress this one here into this beautiful packaging. So I'm going to keep both of them for now, but they will become one. This powder here from Essence, it's called the Mattifying Compact Powder in the shade 10 Light Beige, and this one is just too dark for me. So I feel like the formula is nice, but the color is just way too dark. So I'm going to declutter this one. Then those two here are kind of serving the same purpose because they're both illuminating powders. And this one here is from Wet n Wild. It's called the Reserve Your Cabana Color Icon Bronzer, but I don't know for whom this will be a bronzer because I'm so fair and this is a beautiful highlighting powder on me. So this is very illuminating. It's beautiful on the skin. It really leaves a bit of a, I don't know, a shimmer. So it's not really, it doesn't have sparkle in it or specks of glitter, but it's really illuminating the skin, so it's perfect. I do really love it. It came crashed when I ordered it from Beauty Bay, but I could repress it and it looks beautiful to me. So I'm so excited to use it more because I did use so many other things lately that I kind of neglected this one. So I really want to get back and use this one here more. And then this one here is from Catrice. It basically is the same thing, just in a translucent, in a loose version. So this is a loose powder. It's called the Glow Illusion. And it's also it says that it's translucent and it kind of looks a bit dark. And I don't know, the formula is a bit strange because it comes out in these bigger chunks, I would say. So it's not a very, I don't know, it's not a very fine formula. But when you take a bit of it and you apply it, it actually does look and feel very fine and mild, and it actually applies way better than it looks like in this little pan here. So, and it's also really translucent. I thought that it would be too dark for me, but it blends out translucent, so it's actually working for me. So I'm going to keep both of them for now, I think. So I would always prefer the Wet n Wild one over the one from Catrice, but I do feel like I have a use for both of them, so I'm going to keep both of them. So the last category for today are my setting sprays, and I do have one more. I just dropped it before filming and I know it went underneath our audio rig and I just didn't feel like picking it up, so it's underneath there. I will get it later. I'm going to keep it as well. I'm going to keep all of them. The one that I dropped is the one from Essence, and if you have seen my latest video about my Essence products, my new ones, it's in there. It has some crystals in it. It's a bit of a strange one and I don't like the scent of it, but I'm using it for wetting my eyeshadow brush, so I think I'm going to go through it. And then these are all the other ones. I'm going to keep all of them because I feel like setting sprays, I can always use them up in any way, in some way or another. I don't really use setting spray to set my makeup because I have oily skin. I often feel like I don't need a setting spray. It's better to have powder be the last step for me, but I don't know, I do have these and I kind of use them for other stuff. So sometimes when I'm in the mood for a setting spray, I use them on my face, but basically those three here are kind of the same thing. So this one here from Urban Decay, I don't know where I got it from. I think I purchased something secondhand and it was kind of like a package of a few products and this was also in it. So I did get it secondhand. I didn't pay full price for it and I never use it, but I'm going to keep it because I feel like if I ever want to use a setting spray to really lock my makeup in, it will be this one. So it's just a travel size, so I'm going to keep this one here. Then I have this one here from Terra Naturi and it's also a makeup fixing spray. I use it mainly for kind of wetting my eyeshadow brushes and yeah, it's working beautifully for it. It smells, it has a scent of rose because there's rose water in it and I love that. So I'm going to keep this little guy here. Then also this one here from Catrice, it's called the HD Active Performance Freezing Spray. I don't feel like it does do anything different than other setting sprays, so for me they are kind of all the same. So I'm going to keep this one as well. I'm also going to use it for wetting my brushes and sometimes I use them for wetting my makeup sponge if I want to have it wet, so there's also a way in which I use them, so I'm just going to keep it and use it up. Those two here are different. Those are more like prepping sprays, so I use them before I apply makeup. So this one here is currently in my project pan and I want to use it up because then I want to start using this one here. This is from Essence. This one here is from the Disney collaboration they did and it's the Hydro Booster Mist and it has some oils in them, so you have to really shake it up before you use it, and it's very hydrating and the scent is so lovely on this one. I do absolutely love it and I can't wait to use it more, but this one here is getting a bit old in my collection, so I have it for over 1.5 years I think, so I feel like I should use it up before I start using this one here. So this one here is doing the same thing. It's just a bit hydrating and it's really nice for prepping my skin. If there's a bit more time between applying my skincare and then applying my makeup, I love to kind of refresh my skin with a spray like this. So this one has a very tropical scent and I do enjoy it. It's very coconutty and I do really like it. So this one here is from Makeup Revolution and Jake Jamie. It was in collaboration, and it's a very nice spray. So I do enjoy both of them, and I'm going to keep both of them. So in this box here is everything that I'm keeping, and I think it's a really good size for a collection for me. This really feels good, and I don't know, I feel like it kind of fits my current makeup aesthetic and the products that I like to use, and I really love that I only see products in here that I truly like and enjoy using, and that I could grab each of them and be happy with using it. So this was quite a success for me. I'm going to show you the other box where all the things in there that I'm going to declutter. And you will see that we have gotten rid of, I think, more than half of the things that I started with. So in this box here are all the things that I'm going to get rid of, and in here are 25 items. So I think that's quite a lot, and I didn't mean to kind of make like a ruthless declutter or anything, but I just know that these products don't work for me, so there's just no point in keeping them. So I'm going to try and find some new homes. By the time that you see this video, I will have already given all of them to friends and family, and I hope that someone else will just enjoy them more than I did. So I've got rid of 25 products, and I'm going to keep, now let's count how many items I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep about 32, and I'm going to get rid of about 25, so it's almost half of it that I'm going to get rid of. So this was a quite successful declutter today. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then please hit the like button and let me know down below in the comments if you have tried any of these products and what you enjoy. I know a lot of the foundations I've decluttered today are favorites of other people, so let them know down below in the comments what you like and what is good for your skin, what your skin type is. I feel like it's always a good resource for other people to read the comments in such videos. So thank you all so much for watching. I wish you all a beautiful day.